Hello, everyone. I'm Jolyn Holiday of Above and Beyond Mentoring and Moms Finding More. Welcome. Welcome to how moms find more connections with their children. I'm so excited to be here with you today. So, I always like to start in gratitude and positive energy. So, first of all, I want to thank my higher power for giving us our gifts and helping us to develop them and to share them. And I want to express my thanks to my family. I want to express my thanks to you, moms. I admire you so much. You inspire me so much. Now, welcome to Moms Finding More Connections. I am a mentor and a messenger, but most importantly, I am the mother of 7 amazing, difficult, wonderful children, and you'll hear more about them as we go along. Welcome today. So happy to have you here with us and joining us. So sometimes it takes my screen just a second here to go forward. So I'm trying to flip slides and it's not moving. So thank you for being patient with me there. And I will tell you that I struggle with technology so much. Oh my goodness, I've had a technophobia just a lot of my life. And I'm really trying to face that fear that will grow me. So know that we're going to have some techno funnies as you watch this, because I have a really hard time maneuvering when I am trying to teach something and I'm trying to look at the chat and maneuver the slides and being some venue that is a little harder for me. So know that there will probably be some techno funnies. You can laugh at them. I'll laugh at them. And we'll just go on, right? Because the message is the most important thing, and I want to share that with you. So first of all, moms, the thing that I want you to know most is that with support, you can start finding more as a mother right now. More, right? Things like more peace, more patience, more support, more resources, balance, guidance, all of those things that we want more of. Would any of you like that? Come on, like raise your hand, let me know, do a yes in the chat. Would you like to find more as a mother, especially more joy? Yes, I always want to find more. As we go throughout this lesson today, I would like to tell you a little bit more about my mom's mastermind group. It's a group mentoring program for mothers, and I just finished the first session of this, and we had so much fun, and we learned from each other, and we are finding more as mothers in some really poignant areas. Later on in the slides, I have a slide that shows exactly what we focused on in that, what the mothers in that group decided that they wanted to find more of. And so I'll share that with you. So I would love to tell you more about this group as we go along. Is that okay with you? Let me know. Give me a wave. Give me a yes in the chat. I do have moms muted because sometimes we have like background noise of children, and there will be times that we can interact, hopefully, and talk. When we do our moms mentoring group, we do have a lot more interaction. I don't use slides when we're doing our weekly lessons. You know, we're just all in Zoom, and I'm teaching the lesson and we're chatting, so I'm not worrying about quite so many techno things, and we have a lot more interaction. When I do a public webinar like this, I can't have as much of that going on. It's a little more slides and a little less interaction, and that is not as fun. So Mom's Mastermind Group know that it's really fun. So with your permission, I would like to tell you more about it later. So moms finding more connections with your children. These are my children. These are my children right here. And I have a really interesting family dynamic. I have 7 children. I have 5 children from my late husband, and I have 2 little ones from my second husband. So this is really a different dynamic because my oldest daughter is now 30 years old and my youngest child is only 5. And I have 3 grandchildren. That picture that you see is a little bit older, so there's only 1 grandchild. 2 of those little ones are mine, and 1 grandchild in that picture. So we have a different dynamic. But families today are different, right? And so it means that I have been mothering for 30 years. 30 years. So that doesn't mean that I know it all. It means that I've made more mom mistakes than you, I'm sure. So it also means that I have had some experience making mom mistakes and experience learning from them. So excited to share with you. So here's a picture of me with my individual children. There is a picture of me with my husband there in the center, and a picture with me with each of my children. Because today, I want to focus on helping you find more connections with your individual children, especially personally, very personally, and even prayerfully. Me with all my children, love them. We just had Mother's Day, and I just enjoyed a beautiful time with them. We had this big get together because several of them are now out of the home. And we just really enjoyed each other. And I have a tradition now, I've been doing the last few years, is that on Mother's Day, I have someone take my individual picture with each of my children. And some of these pictures you see here are from a Mother's Day with me and my children. So I recommend that, moms. It's precious. Mothers sometimes do not feel supported. But I want you to realize that you do have many, many resources of support. I always tell mothers, reach up, right? Reach up to heaven and the resources that are there in heaven. Reach up to your higher power, whoever or whatever that is for you. Reach up and ask for heaven's help. Reach out to resources and others. And then reach your arms around your children. So you moms on the call, I want you to do that. Like, I honestly want you to you're going to practice. Reach your arms up toward heaven for those resources, because there's a lot of help and resources there. Reach out to resources and others, right? And reach your arms around your children. Do this, it's important. I believe motherhood is a sacred calling from God. This is my beautiful friend Megan, and her story and the story of her there with her baby is actually very miraculous. Very miraculous. Motherhood is a sacred calling from God. That is my belief. And so He will help you. Now, as I said, I respect whoever or whatever your higher power is. For me, it is God, my Heavenly Father. And I, as a mentor, I am a faith-based mentor. I cannot nor will I mentor without the help of a higher power, without trying to help you connect with that power. Because I know that if I do, I help you to add power, higher power to everything you do. As a mom, we need that, right? We need that higher power. Adding my Heavenly Father to my resources as a mother helps me so much. He softens me. He inspires me. He guides me. He comforts me. Even when there are mom traumas, right? Mom troubles and sadness with our children. All of those things my higher power helps me with. Make sure, moms, that you add that. So why am I sharing? Why am I sharing about moms finding more? Why? So there are several reasons. Number one, because I am a mom and I want to find more as a mother. I want to find more joy especially. And so by teaching something, I am learning and progressing mega, because when you are the teacher, you learn the most, right? Because I have to really stop and evaluate these areas of motherhood, and I have to think about, okay, what's worked, what doesn't work, try some new things as well, and share those. So it helps me grow a lot, But I know if those things work for me, they can help other mothers as well. Now, why am I sharing as a mentor, motivational speaker? Because I have this passion in me to do so. I have a gift, I have a desire, I have a passion to share self-empowerment with people. I was at a meeting for a multi-level marketing, a network marketing company that I'm a part of. And our leader brought in a self-development speaker. And I came in super late to that meeting even, and I just saw the tail end of her speech. And I was so inspired by her story, where she had come from and what she had become, who she had become. And the gains that she had made, especially in the areas of competence and confidence and sharing with others. I was so inspired by her. So I signed up for some of these trainings, and boy, just one led to another. And I went to her, some of her meetings, her free meetings, and then these larger meetings in the company that she was with, and I started to do more and more training. It was only in maybe the second or third time that I had gone to a free meeting that this lady did that I just, man, this thing came up in me, this crazy desire and passion. And I thought, I want to do what you're doing. I want to stand up and inspire people. I want to do that. And at that time, I want you to know that I was so scared to do that, that even in a meeting, she had 3 guests one time, that I was one of them. And I didn't even dare volunteer. And yet that little spark started in me in that very meeting. So I had to face tons of fears. I'm still facing fears and just going forward, one scary thing at a time, to learn more and be more and do more and share more. That's what I'm sharing today. So I love it. I love sharing, and I'm gaining more and more courage and more confidence and more competence, and you can too. I do share as a mentor in a lot of different areas. I am a private life coach, and I teach classes and lectures and on different subjects, but all of them empowerment, self-empowerment of the body, mind, and spirit. So I want you to know that when a mother educates and empowers herself, she educates and empowers her children too. You do. When as I went through these trainings, finally invested in a higher level program, and it was expensive and it was expensive, and I felt super inspired to do it. But then as I got home back with my children, I started to have doubts, and I started to feel guilty about spending so much money on me. And I had to have some major pondering and prayer. And what I was told was that if I invested in myself, in growing more, in learning more, good things, that this would turn around, that I would be able to use what I learned to educate and empower my children too. And this has happened. I promise you, it has happened. My children now are constantly echoing the things that I have learned. Just recently, my 7-year-old came to me and told me about a dream of something that she wanted to do. And I said, let's get that on your vision board, right? You can do this. We can do this together. So know that when you invest in learning and education for yourself, you invest in the learning and education of your children, and in every single role that you play. This is my 15-year-old son. And I have worked so hard this past year to have a better connection with him. I can't say that we're super close. I can't say that my relationship with him is where I want it to be, but I can totally and honestly tell you that it has improved. My connection with this son has improved. I'm going to be sharing some ways that I have done that, some ways that you can do that. And recently, he was in a ballroom dance competition, and I wanted to spend some individual time alone with him because today's lesson, right? We're talking about especially connecting individually. So I wanted to connect with him individually as we went to this competition and have a little bit more than just going there to watch him. And so I love to go to this place. You can see it in the picture. This is the Grand Canyon Bungalow in the Old Rock Church Bed and Breakfast, Providence, Utah. And I like to go there and write because I am writing a story about our family and some experiences that happened. It's encircled in love in the midst of loss. So I go there often to write. Well, I wanted to go there with my son because it's close to the place where he was going to compete. So I wanted to go there with him and the night before and to just have some time alone with him. And this is a nice little bungalow suite. So there's, a family room area and a bedroom area and a kitchen and stuff. So a good place to be together and connect. I wanted to do this with him, but I did not have the funds then to do this. And so I went to my higher power with this with this desire and said, Heavenly Father, I'd really like to go up the night before with him and spend this time in this little bungalow the night before and just eat out with him, talk with him, and enjoy time alone with him. And so if this is meant to be, if this is a desire that you also think is good, then I need some help. I need some help with the funds for this. And we got clear down to the night before. The night before. And I received a message from one of my clients saying that they had just got their taxes back, and so they decided to just go ahead and pay for some sessions ahead for their son that I was mentoring. And yes, I do mentor children as well. That was a wonderful experience. So she decided to pay for some sessions ahead. The exact amount she said she was sending me was the exact amount I needed. Can you believe that? Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that tell you that our higher power will help us with creating connections? Okay, whether that's at home when we're playing a game with them or watching a common show, or whether we need to go out with them and spend some time alone like I did. I had this opportunity, and we have a big family, so it's hard to get time alone with them. It happened. We were able to do it. I wanted to share that story with you. Today we're talking about 4 tips for creating connections. 4 tips for creating connections. Number 1, we have look into their eyes. And I don't worry about writing all these down right now because I will go through each one. So look into their eyes. We're going to see why. We're going to talk about why. Connect on common ground. This is something that really, really helped me with my teenager. Connecting on common ground. Spending time together and even individual time together. And I have 7 children, but somehow I did that with him. So you can do it. It's focusing with our Father's help. So for me, that means my Heavenly Father. So you could say focus with the help of your higher power. Say however you want to verse that, but have that power. So there's so many ways to connect, right? For better connections with your individual children, many ways. I'm just going to do these 4, okay? And then at the end, I'll let you know how you can learn more, right? More about this, more about other subjects as another. So look into their eyes, connect on common ground, spend time, individual time, focus with our Father's help. Number 1, look into their eyes. There's a picture of my husband with our 2 little ones. They're older than that now. And my husband and I, we have had these little ones when we are grandparent age. So my husband, had his first children in his 50s. Whoa. So it's different. But look into their eyes and you can see their precious eyes there. I talked with a mother recently who said that they have one of their 4 little boys is particularly difficult, particularly trying. And she said that her husband, when he's dealing with him, guiding with him, helping him, he tries so hard to look right into his eyes so that he can see kind of like a window to his little soul, so he can connect spirit to spirit, so he can remember the who and the why. Like, really, that's so important. So look into their eyes. Now, I can do this with my little ones, like literally stare right into their eyes, and we can look at it at each other's eyes. Now, my big kids, like my teenagers, young adults, they think that's totally weird, Mom. So we can't do an official look into their eyes. But I do find if I make eye-to-eye contact, right, I can see more into their spirit. The eyes are the windows to the soul. I can see more into their spirit. I can have more of a spirit-spirit connection. I believe that we are eternal in our spirits. Therefore, we should be able to connect as mothers, right? Even spirit to spirit. So there are times when my children won't listen to me, and it's something important, and maybe especially the olders might be in big trauma, and I have to try to connect. I have to try to communicate with them spirit to spirit. And when someone first told me that, I thought, that's a little weird, boo-boo. I don't think it is now. Because we're eternal spirits, I believe, and we're mothers eternally. So we have this connection, spirit to spirit. And I can be able to connect with them in this way. So another thing I want to tell you about this, looking eye to eye, and just making sure that you have eye contact with them, is that I have done this with my husband. Had an eye to eye with my husband. I told him that I wanted to do this and have a little time on Sunday where we kind of looked eye to eye and connected. And he's kind of a rough cut dude. You can probably tell from this. He's a little rough cut. But he actually came and found me later the same day and said, okay, I'm ready for the eye to eye. And I was really surprised. So we just sat and we looked into each other's eyes. And pretty soon we got a little teary-eyed and we connected more, and more love came in there, more barriers came down, and we talked. And because of that connection, I was able to say, how am I doing as your wife? How am I showing up as your wife? And he gave me some suggestions, and he also said, I'll tell you one thing, I'd like to get these kids out of our bed because we had a long chronic problem of our little ones coming to our bed in the night. And we should have never let that become a problem. So I'm going to say that, but it did become a long chronic problem. And so all we found is we decided to solve that problem. We talked about it together. And what we found is that when we looked into each other's eyes, we actually saw eye to eye on a problem. So that's an interesting extra. And we were able to together solve that problem quickly, simply, and very positively. And that put us on a roll. So after that, we started on Sundays doing a little eye to eye and choosing one problem and solving it together. So even though we're talking about connecting with your children, I want you to know that this eye to eye with my husband connected us in a way that we could help our children. Now, I have gone to many self-development seminars, and often at these, they will do an eye-to-eye exercise, even with complete strangers, where they have they assign you to the person next to you or some stranger, and you look eye to eye for a little while, and then you actually tell that person what you see. So there's a really special connection in that. And I also saw recently Rachel Patton, who is the vocalist that did the fight song. Okay, she did the fight song. She did an exercise recently. You can Google this and find it. I think it was on YouTube, where she did this exercise of having family members come in and look into each other's eyes. They sat on across from each other and they looked into each other's eyes. And then she watched what happened when they did this. And there's a little thing where she puts a little YouTube video where you can hear her beautiful music to this. I don't remember the name of the song, but if you want to Google Rachel Patton and something with eye to eye, you have to look at that. It is so amazing how these people just looking eye to eye, these family members, start smiling, start crying, hugging, end up moving to the same side. It's important. Focus. An example is when I pick my teenage son up from something. Sometimes when I go pick him up, I'm waiting in the car. So I've got my phone out, and I'm on my phone, I'm looking at it. But then when he comes to the car, I'm trying to make sure that I put the phone down so that I have eye to eye. It tells them that they are important to you. For little children, squat down and look at them eye to eye as you guide them. It's more connecting, it's more loving. So number one, increase your connections by looking into their eyes. Number two is connect on common ground. Connect on common ground with your children. Now, I have some examples, especially with my teenage son who is 15 right now. Here's some of the ways that we connect on common ground. We have found music that we both like. We have found some shows we both like. We watched a series, Granite Flats, on KBYU. And after everyone was in bed for a long time, we'd watch a piece of this series together. And so it was a way to connect on common ground. Some music, we love the Piano Guys music. And there's these funny brothers who imitate their children. And it's Board Shorts, I think is the company. Those are hilarious. And we watch those together sometimes. Studio C, we'll watch short episodes. We even, on that little getaway together, we watched American Ninja Warrior together. So find some things where you're connecting on common ground. We both love ballroom dance. Now he's in ballroom dance, and I love to watch ballroom dance, and I taught dance for years. His father, who actually passed away when he was just little tiny, his father was on a ballroom dance team, and that's a connection that he has with his late father that he really didn't know. So some special ways that you can connect. Now, I want to say, moms, that sometimes, especially with teenagers and young adults, sometimes things get super hard, right? Sometimes we have a really hard time connecting. Sometimes the only connection that you can find with your child is that your family. And so that means that we have love you forever, no matter what love, right? No matter what love. It's charity. Charity is no matter what love. And so sometimes that might be the only way you can connect. But remember just try to think of the whole eternal scope and connection of things and families. I do have connections with my other children that are very specific. My oldest daughter, we don't have the same religious beliefs, and so we don't connect on that. But we can connect on other things. We can connect on the fact that we both have children with ADHD, and the fact that we both have some classical music and girl time and just different things like that. We found our way to connect. In every one of my children, I have some ways that we can connect. Now, I want to point out, moms that are here. Last week we did this class, and some of the moms on the class pointed out that sometimes we don't even connect on common ground. Sometimes to connect, we have to go to their ground, right? We have to, the child that is completely hooked on video games or something, that sometimes we have to sit down and play a video game with them, right? That might be hard. We have to connect. Sometimes we have to connect on their level first, and that shows them how much we care. So know that that's important too. Sometimes we have to sacrifice, we have to do things we don't like, and to connect with them. And then also find things that we both like, because we are more likely to do them if we both like them. So know that is a connection as well. Now we are to number 3. Number 3 is time. This is me with my little daughter, who is now 7. This was on her 6th birthday. She wanted to ride a train for her birthday, and I swear to you, it was the coldest day of winter ever. I had to take her and the 4-year-old brother on a kind of a long jaunt and a long way in the cold and the train, and it was pretty stressful for me. But this is what she wanted to do, and it gave us a beautiful connection. This is at the end, after we'd done the whole thing, and we're on the train ride home, and this connection that we had because I did something that she wanted, and I gave a lot of time to her. And so know that you have this desire to have a more individual connection with your children. And so you have to take that what and you have to put it into the when of your schedule. Make sure you put them in your schedule. I do have a time each day in the evening, about 8 p.m. that I spend with my husband. I have a time approximately 10 p.m. when the others have gone to bed, even my husband, where I connect with my teenager, right? And we have other times where and the whole bedtime routine with the little ones, that's when I connect a lot with them. Tonight, I am going out with my oldest two daughters. Hey, we're having some time together. So give them time, especially individual time. My mother also has 7 children. I'm the middle. And she said that it's one of the things that she actually regrets the most is not having more individual time and more individual connection. And I'll be honest, I really didn't notice that. I didn't feel like we were left wanting. She was a fabulous mother. But this later is her desire, even her regret that she didn't do more of that. So if you have 7 children at home all at the same time, now that's hard. You can't probably have an alone time with each one every day, but you can take turns, right? You can take turns doing mom dates and dad dates and things like that. So please make sure it's important to your children of every single age. It tells them that you value them. Take that that desire to have that more individual connection and put it into the when of your schedule. Put them into the when of your schedule. Give them time. Put them on your to-do list. Okay, now this is number 4. This is focus with the Father's help. Right? Focus with the Father's help, or focus with the help of your higher power. Add that higher power to help you as you focus on the needs of individual children in your family. Ask for his help because he can give you ideas and inspiration. My goodness. You know, just recently, I've really been praying about helping my 15-year-old with some health issues that he has, and having some inspiration what to do, and even being able to go to a doctor and have some things documented to show him really what's going on that they don't normally see, and then having that doctor realize and agree with me so that we can get something done about this. That's focus with the Father's help. Now this picture, this might make me cry. I'm going to try hard not to cry. This is my son, Michael. He's my second son. And that is a picture of him in boot camp. Actually, I don't think that was boot camp. I think that was AIT after boot camp. But he went away to Army boot camp at age 18. And it was hard for him. And before that even happened, I knew that would be hard for him. Because this son, he is my most gentle, my most patient, my most loving child. And he is very techno, and he's kind of a nerd because he's really techno. He's not the rough and tumble, fight 'em soldier. Hey, that's not his nature. But he chose the Army to have a plan and to frankly get school paid for. I know, to help him toughen up a little bit too. I know there's a lot of that desire, right, to be a little tougher, and the desire that all men have for those masculine kind of things, but also for schooling and stuff. So I knew this. I know my son. I knew boot camp would be hard. You can only communicate via letter. That's all. You can't call them back and forth. You can only communicate by letter. And when they first go, you actually don't even have an address where they're going to be. And so it isn't until like they get there and the commander, I think it is, writes you a letter, they do actually have an address to write them a letter back, or when they do. So wow, I just really, really, really had focused help with my higher power. How can I help my son with this? He'll be so far away from me, be clear across the country, and I can't even call him, and I can't even write to him for a while, and I can't even have, so how can I help him? How can I help him, Lord? This was my deep prayer. The night before he went to boot camp, we had a family farewell for him, a family dinner. And I had purchased some notebooks and envelopes and stamps to make sure he wrote to me. Sent with him to make sure he wrote to me. And he was going out the door because at that time he was living with his big brother in his home. And so he was going out the door after this get together, and I just had this idea, this inspiration. I know it came from my higher power. And I said, Michael, wait a minute, leave one of those notebooks with me. I'll give it to you in the morning when I take you to your recruiter. So he left that notebook with me. And after everyone went to bed, I stayed up for a long time, a long time. And I didn't write on the front cover of this pad, but inside of this lined notepad, I wrote message after message after message of encouragement and love to him. Things like, son, I know you can do this. I know who you are. You can do hard things. Just whatever it was that came to me, I wrote. My heart and my higher power helped me. And I wrote these letters to my son, this encouragement I knew he would need. I didn't tear them out or anything. They were just one page after another in this notebook. The next morning, when I took him to the recruiter, I gave him that notebook to pack in with everything else. When he got to his place, they were supposed to be able to call home. One call home to say, hey, Mom, I made it, I'm here. He didn't get that. His plane was the last one to come in, the last one. They were in a hurry. He actually didn't get that. I didn't get a call. I didn't know exactly where my son was, or even if he made it, for a long time. That was so hard. I can't tell you. It was very difficult. And it was like a couple weeks before we got a letter from like the commander to know where. And then when I wrote him back immediately, I wrote to my son immediately with that address, and my first two letters actually got lost. And they have to go to this whole military sorting thing. So I had actually gone to the post office and sent them priority mail and all this. And just so you know, moms, if you have a military son coming up, there's not such a thing as priority mail in the military sorting systems. I actually think that slowed down my letters. But he actually did not get my letters for 3 weeks. And what he had to endure, oh my gosh, that's hard. They just beat them down. And they're weeding out the ones that can't make it, and it is so emotionally hard, so physically hard. But when I was finally able to have communication with my son, I got some of his letters first that actually said, Mom, I've heard from so-and-so and so-and-so and not you. And I'm thinking, but I wrote. And the crazy thing with my letters, but I did find out that he had been reading. He remembered when he was so distraught and it was so difficult. He remembered the letters I had sent with him, and he had began to read them. And he said he had even shared them with a bunkmate who was struggling. So this is an example, focus with the Father's help. I could go on again and again and again and again about this because it's so poignant. When your child needs help, ask your Heavenly Father to help you as a mother. Ask Him to help you, and He will, so that you can focus on your child and their needs. He is their Father too, and so He will never give up on them, and He will never give up on you trying to help them. So we talked about 4 things, 4 tips for creating more connections. There will be a lot of you mothers who watch this in replay. So I want to make sure that I tell you, you can do this too. You can create more connections with your children, especially individually, especially personally, especially prayerfully. So these are the tips we went over. We went over, look into their eyes. Connect eye to eye, connect soul to soul, connect spirit to spirit. Connect on common ground. And remember, connect on their ground too. Okay, connect on their ground and also find common ground, things you can both enjoy that you can do together for a connection. Time. Give them time, especially individual time. Make sure that they are in your schedule, right? The what into, then the who, I should say, the who into the when of your schedule because of the why, right? Motherhood is like the most important job on earth. You are raising adults, right? And focus with our Father's help. Ask your higher power to help you. Focus. Ask Him to help you. You know, these things that we're talking about bring me to an idea that I learned from a mentor. I learned this from Torianne Perky, who has been one of my mentors. And she suggested having a slogan, a declaration about your mothering. And so I did this declaration for mothering this year. It is, we are raising confident, competent, compassionate adults of testimony and integrity. They have vision and they know and live their life's mission. I suggest that to you, moms. I suggest that. Now, what helps you as a mother connect more? Okay, if we were in our group mentoring program, we would be talking about that very individually. We would be going to one mother after another and really being able to talk with each other about that on our public webinar. Right now I kind of recorded when we're not able to do that. But I want you to think about what helps you connect more, and I want you to share that with me. Share that with me so that I can use that in other things. You can contact me at Essential Answers for You. That's the number 4 and the letter U at gmail.com. I do have a resource page at the end too that has that on at the end of these slides. So I'm Jolyn Holiday. You can contact me at Essential Answers for You. That's the number for the letter U at gmail.com. I want to know what helps you connect more. Here I am with my children, my individual children, and my goodness, I've made a lot of mom mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes. My children can testify to that, but I'm not going to give up trying to find more connections with them, trying to find more joy with them, trying to be more, learn more, do more, be more as a mother. You can do this too. You can find more individual connections with your children. I want to know, was this information helpful to you? Please contact me via Facebook, via my email. You can even contact me via phone, 801-510-7513. You can contact me and let me know if this information was helpful to you. I want to know that. And do you think these tips are simple, doable? Let me know that. Every time I teach, no matter who I teach, what group I teach, what I teach, I make sure that the tips that I give are simple, doable, but powerful. Simple, doable, powerful. I don't want to simply motivate you. It's one thing to be a motivational speaker. I want to be an activational speaker. I want to powerfully activate you. I don't want to just inform you. I want to transform, help you. I can't transform her. Help you transform, right? Not just information, transformation. That's what we want. Would it be helpful to have accountability for the changes that you want to make? Would it be helpful? This statistic, and I'm sorry this didn't print out this part, so I've got to make sure that I give this reference. This came from the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. I recommend that book highly for everyone, for moms, for business people, for everyone. The One Thing by Gary Keller. He said, he listed this statistic in his book. Individuals with written goals are 39.5% more likely to succeed. Individuals with written goals and weekly accountability, reporting, right? Reporting progress to someone else, 76.7% more likely to succeed. Would you like that? So today as moms, you're listening and you're motivated and you have some goals, right? You've got to make some individual goals. You've got to write them down. And then you've got to have accountability. I can provide that for you. Others can provide. There are many wonderful mentors out there, but you need accountability. So today in our lesson, we have only scratched the surface of Moms Finding More. Just scratch the surface of that. There's so much more that we can learn, right? Moms finding more patience, moms finding more peace, more balance, more support, inspiration, joy, order. These are just examples, okay? They're endless. More consistency, more in family relationships, more fulfillment. Today, like connections, more creativity, more developing talents, right? And I will be showing you the specific lessons that the mothers in our last group chose. I will get to that. So what do you want more of as a mother? Okay, you can type that into the chat. I can go back and read that chat later and I can print it out. So what do you want more of as a mother? Type that in the chat or even just let me know. And there is a screen at the end with my resources. You can write those down, take a picture of it, whatever you need. The Moms Mastermind program. Is it okay if I tell you about that? Give me some okays there in the chat. I'm waiting there for a second. There we go. There we go. We've got some okays, some yes. Please tell us. Good. Please tell us about this. So the Moms Mastermind group mentoring program. We have 8 weeks. 8 lessons on Moms Finding More. We do those lessons so easily, ladies. It doesn't even matter if you're clear across the country or home or wherever. We do those just like we're doing them today over the computer, internet, via Zoom. And when we do those lessons, I do not do slides. I'm talking, like you see me here in the little box up there. I'm talking and I am teaching you a lesson of finding more in one poignant area. It's a different topic each week, finding more in one poignant area. We talk approximately an hour to an hour and a half as we talk and review and interact. And I share a lesson. We do a lot of group interaction on that. I have a lot of comments and questions from the group. It's very interactive. That's why I call it a mastermind group. And each week, you know, we choose a different lesson. We have a private Facebook group. We have loved that. And even though our first group is over, we still have that private Facebook group because we're continuing to encourage each other and help each other in the areas that we were working on so that we have this continual progress, this transformation, this inspiration. But when you are part of the Moms Mastermind program, you're part of the private Facebook group so that I can give you more when I think about it, so that you can post more, so we can encourage and interact with each other and share. That's really fun. We love that. One mom said that's her favorite part, actually. I give all participants 2 private mentoring sessions, not 1, but 2 private mentoring sessions. The first one is 30 minutes, more about you. I want to know more about you as a mom and what you want out of the program, because I design that program accordingly, the lessons accordingly to what the moms in that particular group are saying they want more of. So I need to know you. I need to know what you want out of the program so that we can work toward that. And then at the end of the program, I do 1 full hour private mentoring session. I do these by phone. We can do them by Zoom too, but most moms even just prefer phone, and I even prefer phone, but we just do it by phone. So it doesn't matter if you live far away. 1 hour. This is about your personal incorporation of what we have learned, because we can talk about those things that we've learned. How are you doing with those? what are the successes that you personally have had? And we do share a lot of those in our group and on our lessons as well. But what are the successes that you have had? And what are some of the things that you're still working on? Some things that are hard. Do we need to review any of our tips? And what can we do? So that's their personal incorporation. And I threw this in at the end of the program. I added this, and honestly, I haven't even added to the price yet. So of the package. So notice this is a total bonus. Mom's Mastermind class, a final one. We did these 8 lessons of talking, of learning more in poignant areas, but I felt like we needed one more meeting with all of us together to talk about it all, together. So we did do that via Zoom too, but we added that, and it made a really great ending to that. I gave the moms information on how to get one of the free empowerment audios from my website. So that's just a free gift. And a little spoiling and pampering. Now, I'm not even going to say what this will be because I don't know what the dynamics of my life will be in as we do your group. But I can tell you that I like to do a little periodic pampering and spoiling. So here's a couple examples. What I did with the last group, that does not mean that's what I would do with yours. But one day I gave them, so some live close and some live far away. So some got mailed and some were delivered in person. Homemade bath salts, okay? Homemade bath salts with essential oils in them and some chocolate. So they just got a few periodic simple packages. They were really simple things, but just something fun. One time we did a picture frame. One time one of those awesome little notebooks that hangs on your fridge. So just a little pampering, spoiling. I'm not even going to say what that's going to be. So here's some of the benefits of being in that mother's group. Those of you that are on this call live, those of you that are joining us later to watch, these are some of the benefits. I know that you are the kind of mothers, the like-minded mothers who would be in this group because you've registered for these webinars. You want this as a mother. So we have that private Facebook group. We have a lot of learning and sharing in our group. We have like-minded mothers, okay? Like-minded mothers who want more, who care about mothering. And despite all of our mistakes, we want more. Simple, you have simple, powerful tools, okay? Simple, doable. You have a teacher and mentor. You have encouragement. You have support. How many moms out there want more support? My goodness. You have accountability. You saw how important that was to your success and positive change. Raise your hand if you're good with positive change. Oh yeah, always. Positive change. Raise your hand, write it in the chat. Yes, I'm seeing you want it. Positive change. Finding more as a mother in poignant areas. We have 8 weeks, 8 lessons. And those lessons we teach on Tuesdays. We teach on Tuesdays at 10:30 Mountain Daylight Time. However, those are recorded. Okay, so they are recorded for playback. I put a link in our Facebook group in case you had to get off early or you got on late or you didn't make it. And each week, I review the lesson from the last week and then teach the new one. So I'm making sure you get that message. So you might say, well, I have summer vacations and all this. That's okay. You can still get it all, okay? We'll make sure that you can get it. So moms finding more connections. These are the subjects that we did for the last group because these are the things that they wanted and needed. Finding you again. Boy, that was fun. Sometimes we lose ourselves as mothers. So we did some exercises where we were finding them again. Moms finding more joy. That came after. We had to find out the things that they love before we could have more joy. Moms finding more peace. Moms finding more order. Moms finding more balance. Moms finding more ways to create meaningful memories. And moms finding more solutions. So you would have some of the same ones because moms want a lot of the same things and probably some different ones. So do you feel this program could help you as a mother too? Do you feel like it could help you too? Here is the package value. Now this doesn't mean this is what I'm charging. This is the package value in the mentoring world. And probably I really think it's more than this, but 8 classes times $25 would be like $200 for the classes. 30-minute private mentoring session would be 50 and up, right? 60-minute private mentoring session would be 100 and up. And group support, priceless, priceless. The total value of this would be like $350 to $500 for something like this. I choose not to charge that. I want every mom to have this opportunity. I'm only going to charge $247, and I promise that price will go up, but we're in our introductory stages, and this is the price I feel I should do right now. So I'm only going to charge $247 for that whole program, or 3 easy payments of $97. If you're interested in this program, go to momsfindingmore.com/join. momsfindingmore.com/join. You got to remember that /join to find it. So the mastermind program, what we get, that review, 8 weeks, 8 lessons on finding more and poignant areas. And each week, as I said, you get a little review, and then we go into the new one. Private Facebook group. And those lessons are very interactive, as I said. 2 private mentoring sessions for the first 30 minutes to find out what you want out of the program. An hour at the end, so I can help you with your personal incorporation. I threw in an end class with everyone, a bonus Mom's Mastermind class to kind of just talk about the whole thing, wrap up the whole thing. You get a free empowerment audio from my website that you get to choose. You get to choose which lecture you want. A little pampering and spoiling. Are you okay with that, moms? A little pampering and spoiling? Go to momsfindingmore.com/join. Join us in this amazing effort, this empowerment program to find more as mothers. Here's some testimonials. This is Lori. She just finished our first program. She says, I really enjoyed the Mom's Mastermind group. It came at a time when I really needed it. I was starting to get super grumpy. Have you ever been super grumpy, moms? I was starting to get super grumpy with my children and lose who I myself was. This Mom's Mastermind has helped me learn techniques to grow closer to my family while finding myself again. I will continue to work on these wonderful techniques and will be forever grateful for the opportunity to participate in this group. Thank you, Lori. She was wonderful for our group. She contributed a lot. And just yesterday, she did a post, and our group is over, but we have our private Facebook group. And we decided not to end it yet, to keep it going for a while so that we really make sure we incorporate. And she did a post about having something with her girls that normally causes a big, difficult, negative, drag out fight. And she made a decision to approach it differently, to do something different, to figure out a win-win situation. And she did. Wow. So that comes from learning, that comes from growing, that comes from extra resources. So let me see if I can move this down here so I can read this. This comes from Jeanette, who just finished our group. I'm trying to move our little icons down here so we can see this. So Jeanette says, as a mother, there's so many things you need and want to accomplish, but where do you start? It can be overwhelming. Sometimes you feel everyone else has it all except you, has it all together, I should say, except you. Dylan Holiday's Mom's Mastermind program has been so helpful. She really helps you to take it step by step to find peace in your role as a mother. She also helps you find yourself again. I also truly enjoyed getting to know other mothers with similar goals to my own. They gave great ideas which have helped me in addition to what I learned from Jillian. I love that from the program too. I tell you, I learned so much from the other mothers. Jeanette says, I continue to implement many of her tips into my parenting. I especially love the joy. I found more. Oh, who wants more joy as moms? Whoa, every one of us. She says, I have found more. Let's see, I especially love the joy. I've found more in my children and myself as I improve one step at a time. She also spoils you with little surprises here and there, which is fun. I recommend investing in yourself and your family through the Mom's Mastermind program. Thank you, Jeanette. Oh, what a darling mother. What a darling mother. And she taught us a lot. So I am trying to push forward on my slides. There we go. what you get in the Mom's Mastermind program, a quick review. We have, and it's only $247 or 3 monthly payments of $97. That's like nothing to invest in this Mom's program, but it is something you will be empowered by. So 8 weeks, 8 lessons on finding more poignant areas, our private Facebook group, 2 private mentoring sessions, one at the beginning, one at the end, a bonus mastermind class, empowerment audio download, and a little spoiling, momsfindingmore.com/join. Join us, moms. Join us in our effort to find more as mothers. Join us, momsfindingmore.com. Join. Oh, I've loved doing this with the moms. And there's a bonus. And some of you may end up watching this later, so you can contact me about that. But hopefully there are many of you watching it this week. So if you take advantage of this offer by Saturday, this Saturday, May 20th, you will receive something extra, okay? So you can take advantage of this offer anytime, or take advantage of the Mom's Mastermind program anytime, I should say. But if you take advantage of joining this program before, or by, I should say, May 20th, 2017, you will receive a free 30-minute problem solvent session. I love to do those 30-minute problem solvent sessions. I'm sure everybody has some problems they would like to have help with or mastermind. And if it's something that I know that I've had success with, I'll share with you what I have. And you can see, I'm sorry you can see my funny headphones here, but they have the best sound. So also, I love to do these problem solvent sessions, and I'm pretty good at them. So if I don't know that area, we'll mastermind together. momsfindingmore.com/join, and join by this Saturday, May 20th, so that you can get an extra freebie, the problem solvent session. Why you might say no to this program? Because you're not interested? That's okay. This program isn't for everyone. It might not be for you. Okay, that's okay. Maybe you don't want to add one more thing, right? As moms, we have a lot. But what if that one thing helped to simplify many? Whoa, what if that one thing helped to simplify many? That's what's happened for me. Even with that little eye-to-eye with my husband, which came about because of this program, we have solved a handful or more of problems that have been chronic for years, and we were able to solve them quickly and simply. Holy cow. Adding one more thing helped me to simplify many, helped us. So maybe you don't have enough money to do that. And I want you to know we find the money for what we really value. We do, especially when it's education. And I want you to know that I can help you brainstorm how to manifest the money. I am pretty darn good at helping you brainstorm manifesting. So if you want to do this program, but money is the issue, schedule a free call with me, and we'll do this free call, and I will help you. I can't take the steps for you, right? But I can give you lots of ideas on how to manifest, come up with the money for this that you think is really important. I can help you with that. So not interested in group learning, that's totally okay. I have private mentoring. I love private mentoring as well. So not enough time. Consider saying no to some things so that you can say yes to special things, so you can say yes to significant things like this. I joined a webinar bootcamp program back like in November, like before the holidays, and I felt like I needed to learn how to share, like I'm sharing with you today, okay? Get my message out to more people, reach more people, and I felt it was really important that I learn this. But because technology is so hard, I have to spend longer than everyone else. But everyone else learned how to launch in 6 weeks has taken me 6 months. And so But I've had to say no to some things so I could say yes to learning how to share via the internet and, you know, out to the public and stuff. So I had to say no to some things. I had to say no to some of the other classes that I teach and some of the other things I would normally do, so I could say yes to doing this learning and then to this program. Okay, so for some reason this is taking a second. Now you might, for some reason that question is not coming up, but your husband or your spouse, you may be saying, well, I don't think he's going to approve of this expenditure. And I think it's important to talk things over with our spouse. I think that's really important. So what if you talked with your husband and you tell him why you want to do this? Tell him the why. Why? You know, all those reasons, like that you feel your calling and career as a mother is super important, right? You are raising adults here. This is because they're going to be adults, right? It's super important. And tell him why. Tell him your desires, right? And point out that he invests, or whoever, because it's whoever is the provider in the home, and sometimes that can even be the lady in the home, or one partner versus the other, or both partners. But when we have a career, we often invest in extra learning and training and education so that we can up our game, right? Even up our salary, right? So we can do a better job. So I think it's important to point out sometimes to our spouse that this is our career as a mother, right? It's our career, and we want to invest in it. We want to be the best that we can be because it makes such a difference in the future of our children. So tell your husband that, you know, tell him that desire. So you might also say, not now though, like later, I'll do it later, but I don't want to do it now. I say to you, if not now, then when? Then when? Our mothering time slips by so quickly. I can testify to this because my older children, you know, I have older children grown and gone out of the home, and it goes by so quickly. It goes by so quickly, and we have to do a good job. And that momsfindingmore.com/join, the Moms Mastermind. You receive 8 weeks, 8 lessons on finding more, private Facebook group, 2 private mentoring sessions, right? One at the beginning that is learning about what you want, one at the end that's helping you with incorporation, bonus mastermind class, empowerment audio, a little pampering and spoiling. And I'm doing this for only $247 or 3 monthly payments of $97 because I know moms, right? I know moms. And this, I promise, it is going to be worth so much more. If you put that into it, right? I can't make you take steps, but I do promise to give you a lot of simple, doable, powerful tips that can help you find more as a mother. And it's your responsibility to take the action steps. So with support, you can start finding more as a mother right now. You can. momsfindingmore.com/join. Join us, moms. Join us in this effort. Here are some empowerment resources. I have a Moms Finding More Facebook page. It's fairly new, so we're going to add a lot more moms to this. Moms Finding More, I put simple tips and empowerment posts often. I may post about classes or especially free webinars or things that I'm doing, and forms of empowerment for moms, okay? So sometimes I'll post what other people are doing. I have a friend that's doing a mom's class soon, and so I want you to know about that because she's amazing. So I'll post that there. So essentialanswers.me. This is my overall business of empowerment for the body, mind, and spirit. And you will probably hear I also do business under that in the area of the mind, above and beyond mentoring. So essentialanswers.me is my website. Essentialanswers.me. You can go to that. My name is Jolyn Holiday. You can reach me at essentialanswersforyou@gmail.com. That's the number 4 and the letter U. My Google Voice number is 71642732224. And moms, if you're not sure, you might want help with ideas to manifest if you just want to talk about this, okay, you can do one free call. I will do one free call. Go to calendly.com/schedule with Jolynn. Calendly.com/schedule with Jolynn. And Jolynn is spelled Jolyn. There are different calls that you can choose from there, actually. I would recommend choosing the Mom's Mastermind call, where I help you to find more in one area. Or if you're wanting more about, how can I manifest the funds for this, you can choose that one, or you could choose, there's one called 30 Minutes with a Mentor. So moms, I totally hope that you will join us. You can start finding more as a mother right now. Today I have taught you some simple tips about how you can connect with your children individually, personally, and prayerfully. I am committed to do this as a mother. Despite all my mistakes, I am committed to go forward. There are no do-overs, right? There are no do-overs, only do-betters. Let's do better. Let's not worry about being perfect. Let's work at being progressive. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jolynn Holiday of Above and Beyond Mentoring and the Moms Finding More program. Thank you for joining. And moms, you're amazing. You are amazing.